If God is loving, why does he allow bad things to happen? What kind of a loving God allows for things like poverty, cancer, and sickness? It's a question I've asked myself many times. In fact, this is the biggest challenge to faith in my mind. Is this a good God that Christians believe in or not? And there's lots of evidence every day to sort of make you question that, I guess, because people do experience dreadful things. The human condition is one in which we live in a very broken world. It doesn't seem to me to say anything about whether there is actually a God or not, because there could be a God who's cruel or unkind or completely disinterested. But it does go to kind of God's character. I've found a few things helpful in this as I've wrestled honestly and personally myself with this question. One is to notice within the Bible the enormous space for lament. There's a whole book called Lamentations. There's a whole lot of psalms that are about a kind of protest to God. Where are you, God? What's going on? You're meant to be a God of love and justice, and this is not what I'm experiencing. And so the Bible gives you a whole host of information that sort of shows you have permission, more than that, a whole language to express this very deep frustration that we all feel. But of course, Christians are only ever going to be the best thing that we've got is to go back to the central event of Christianity, which is the death and then resurrection of Jesus. And this crucifixion is so important because, of course, there were lots of crucifixions at the time in first century Roman Empire, but this one is special because of who it's claiming is on the cross. The claim is, and it's an astonishing claim, is that this is God himself there on the cross, which tells us something, if that happens to be true. It tells us that this God is not aloof and distant from human suffering, but has actually become part of it, right into the deep human misery to find a solution. And I find that really important in terms of telling me something about God's character. And then, of course, going on from that is the hope that Christianity offers. The Christian story promises the defeat of evil and injustice and cruelty and violence and loneliness and brokenness and death, and a promise of restoration of life, of beauty, of kindness, goodness, friendship, laughter, all the things we love. And so when I face great difficulties and when I observe people around me who do, and I feel the weight of that story is the thing that sustains me. I found that to be the case, and I know many, many people have as well.